reverb coming from? Is that it? There we go. Okay. I think I need to turn that off. Okay, there we go. Chinga tu migra. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Let me check the streams real quick. All right. Twitch looks good. YouTube looks good. Facebook, go live. YouTube vertical. Looks good. Go live on the Instagrams. Let's see if I'm in chat. Oops. Actually, that works better because I can put that like up here for chat, and then I can go, yeah, right about there. I can even get bigger. Nah. Go a little bit right. Yeah. That's pretty good. I can go. Yeah, that looks good. My hair looks combed. Look at that thinning hairline. God damn. Shit is on fleek. All right. So I actually have a little bit of a cool thing I want to show off here. Can't hear me? Uh-oh. That's not good. That's weird because I'm getting the output. That's problematic. Shit. Let's see. Oh no, not technical difficulties. I can hear myself on. Yeah, I have everything fine here. Options. Yeah, both are active, both are showing. No volume, eh? Testing, testing. Huh. So it's working on Twitch. But you tell me it's not working on the Instagrams. If I find out that you're just giving me the runaround, I'm really fucking pissed, okay? And you know what I'm gonna do? Nothing. That's what I'm gonna do. Absolutely nothing, because I have no idea who you are. Shit, you're right. There's no audio on Instagram. Well, let's see if it's the same on Facebook. Testing. Wow, that's so weird. So it's working on Facebook. What's up, GRMPE queer? What's going on? Okay, so what's it look like on YouTube? Okay, so I am heard on YouTube. Testing. So why am I not heard on, you know what, we'll try this. We're just going to restart Instagram real quick, see if that does the trick. Hold tight, everybody. Hold on to your butts. Oh, hell. Where is it? Here it is. Sound okay on YouTube? Thank you, brother. Apparently, I'm being told on Instagram that it's not working there, which is very unusual. So we're going to try this again on Instagram. Testing, testing. It's like a 3-second delay. Testing, testing. Okay, we have audio on Instagram. Don't know what it was, but we fixed it. Shut your big-looking head self up. Okay, we have audio. Is my head look big enough now? I will not. I will not shut up ever. So eat my fucking lip. Not a very good insult. Okay. Oh, this is what I was going to show. So went to Costco and I got the Fallout sodas. I thought they were beer though. I was looking forward to a nice little afternoon beer, but apparently these are well, they are beer. They're just root beer. Very clever. And then I got this because you got to collect the caps. Got to collect the caps. So let's see. Oh man, this thing kind of sucks. Oh, here we go. There we go. Hey! Well, there we go. Got it. Nice. A little bit of root beer. I got to get my sugar fix. Okay. Ooh, excuse me. So let's get right to the stories of the day because there's, surprisingly, at least feels like on my end, not too much to cover. But what there is to cover is still a lot. Pamela, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining here. Oh man, you can't see my fuck ice flag when on the main screen. That sucks. Oh well, that's fine. So, what do we got? This has been very dark times. David Sayer, welcome. This has been very dark times, of course, but we need to start taking a little bit of heart here because the good news is we are fucking winning. We are. Trump has never been this low. The only time he's been this low was after January 6th, and that was when he was on his way out after Trump 1.0, after the economy was already crashing, after we had a global pandemic and a terrorist attack to overthrow the country. Now, we've got 2 more years of absolute dog shit coming our way. And his polls are not going to come up. I really don't think they'll come up. He had his fake stage shooting last week. Even that didn't get his polls up. Look at this shit. Trump's absolutely collapsing with GOP. Keep in mind, the GOP has always been like his base. Of course they're his base, but they've never really broken with him. Never, not fucking once. And yet this one time, his base is fucking sick of it. They're not having it anymore. This is insane to watch unfold in real time. Trump's absolutely collapsing with GOP leaning independents per WAPO and Pew polls. No fucking shit. I mean, he's collapsing like fucking laundry thrown onto a bed. He got 91% of their vote in 2024. Just 53% approve now. Hold on. I need to clean my glasses. Because actually, I knew it was bad, but I hadn't read that statistic. I didn't realize it was that bad. Trump's absolutely collapsing with GOP-leaning independents. He got approximately 91% in 2024, just 53%. He has cut down his support by almost half. I tell you, the only person better at throwing elections is the Democrats. I have not seen this kind of cratering since Chuck Schumer backed AIPAC. This is insane to see. That 53% is down, too, from 73% approval he had with them in term 1 at this point. So he's halved from where he was in term 1. He's not halved, I guess. Cut his support by what, about a third? That's insane. House GOP struggling too on 2026 House ballot with them.
Who are the people who are dragging down President Trump's approval rating? We are talking about a very important block for the President of the United States. That is Republican-leaning independents. That is what's going on. Take a look here. This is the difference. Trump's approval rating at this point in term.
Look at this. I mean, sure, the GOP only is 83%, fine. But it's the indies who are going to swing the election. It's always the indies who swing elections. And the indies are the ones that are, look at this, he's lost 20% from where he was this time in term 1. That is fucking huge. Find hard to believe he has 53% approval, should be much lower. Pamela, I totally agree. But look, Americans are stupid. That's what it comes down to. I can Google this. There is truly like 5 to 10% of the American population believes that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. This is a statistical. It's not a fact that that's where chocolate milk comes from. Of fucking course not. But Americans are that fucking dumb. They're that dumb. It made me think of, because I've been watching a lot of The Pit. And it's really incredible how they have these patients come. I mean, of course, it's it's dramatized, it's scripted, but it's also based on real stuff that happens in ERs. These people come in, and this one lady is pregnant, and she wants a pure birth or whatever it is. So she's had no medical care for it. She's had no prenatal care. She hasn't had an ultrasound. She's not doing any of the fucking vitamins and shit you're supposed to do. And she just wants to have a pure birth. And then lo and behold, she collapses and nearly dies, and they have to do an emergency C-section because the baby is popping out one way or the other. And it just baffles me that wherever she gets her information, people are far too willing to trust morons on YouTube over doctors who have degrees, who have studied this. If you get this dipshit on YouTube to ask them the difference between an amoeba and a nucleus, these YouTube people would say the difference is that they're spelled incorrectly. That's how they'll tell the difference. But a doctor can actually break it down and say, well, this and this and this and this and this and this. The difference between a flu and the plague is this. And these people will trust these fucking idiot YouTubers or their drunk fucking uncle who comes over once every Thanksgiving because no one else can fucking stand them. They'll trust them over the doctors that they have been seeing all their life. It's just fucking mind-blowing. So, Pamela, to bring it back to what you're saying, Americans are fucking dumb. They just are. They're stupid. It just came out that Americans read at, a 5th grade level, I think it said? It was either 5th or 3rd grade. I can't remember which makes sense that Republicans want that because that's also the reading level of the children that they rape. So it all goes hands in hand that Republicans want a dumb population because when you're dumb, you're not going to think critically, and then it becomes a race to the bottom of the barrel for stupidity. That's my theory anyways. You can call it critical race theory. I voted for Trump 3 times, but I'm not voting this midterms. Just Human, thank you for saying that. I'm very curious why. Can you tell us what was it? Let me ask you 2 questions if you want to answer. 1, what was it that appealed to you about Trump that made you want to vote for him? And 2, what is it that made you not vote this midterm? If you want to answer. I won't give you shit. I'm legitimately curious. Trump isn't running the midterms, correct? When does Trump first America last end? Late January 2029? Well, knockout, hopefully sooner if we can take the House and maybe get some impeachment going. I mean, we still have to capture the Senate, but that's something. Hey, the plague is a bacterial infection. Exactly. You caught it. See, you can get a doctor, or just generally speaking, not a moron, to know that. But these YouTube guys don't fucking know their elbow from their asshole. We had a legit ICE. This ICE is just sad. Knockout, I don't know what you mean by that. Abolish ICE. ICE must be destroyed. He wasn't a lunatic woman. Who wasn't a lunatic woman? Are you talking about Trump? Are you talking about Trump? My brother in Christ. Have you seen Trump's rants? He's posting at 3 in the morning while he's on the shitter, and he's typing out a Bible sentence that makes your eyes bleed when you watch it. I don't know. I'm not sure if your comment is legitimate or not. ICE wants to be called nice. Yes, they do. The Nazi ICE. Correct. Is this another debate over political parties? Two-party illusion? James Gardner, I am by no means a fan of the Democrats, so I'm not sure what you mean by that. But at the end of the day, the Republican crime party is the current threat. You don't know Christ. I don't think anybody does because he's been dead for over 2,000 years. Why give the puppet president attention? Because he's currently in charge and he's doing awful things, and we have to know what he's doing to mobilize. All right, I'm getting off topic with the chat. Hold on. So let's watch this video.
Independents who lean Republican versus those who are just Republicans only. Look at this among independents who lean Republican. Back in term number 1, he was at 73% at this point in term. Down he goes, an absolute.
I love this guy, by the way. He always does such very on the nose animation. He's like, and look at this poll. It's going up. It's going up. It's going up, you guys. It's going up. And now this poll is going down. He always has such emotes when he's doing this shit. I love this guy.
Collapse now, just 53%.
What's his name? Norm Eisen or something?
Independents who lean Republican now approve of the President of the United States. That's very different from Republicans only. It was 83 at this point in term number 1. It's 83% now, but that's a 20-point decline in his approval rating, nearly at the 50% mark, with a group that traditionally has very much been in the president's camp.
This isn't just indies. This is independents who lean Republican, people who in theory should be predisposed to like the president there. Talk more about the shift we've seen actually now this time from
Democrats' eyes always bleed when they hear a Bible verse. Jeb Common, you do realize that Republicans, Trump was the one who couldn't quote a Bible verse. Fucking, what's his name? Russell Brand brought a Bible on to Piers Morgan. Piers asked him which quote from the Bible brought him the most strength, and he couldn't find it. Republicans' eyes don't bleed when they read the Bible because they don't read the Bible. They don't read.
Just a couple years ago.
Just a couple years ago. Take a look at this shift. Oh my. GOP leaning independents on Trump. In the 2024 election versus Kamala Harris, he got 91% of that vote, nearly 100, near uniformity on that one. But down he goes.
There he goes. Down he goes.
Deep blue sea. Now at 53.
This is going to become a drinking game every time this guy does his analytics. Take a shot every single time he does something really on the nose emotive, and you're going to be drunk.
3% on the job approval rating. John, I'm not that good at math, but I believe that is a 38-point drop. A 38-point drop from where he was in the 2024 election. As I said, this is a core group for Donald Trump, and they are waving, adios, amigos, goodbye. We no longer support you, President of the United States.
This guy.
We're going in the other direction. We're deciding to disapprove, then approve. He's just above 50% in a group that overwhelmingly supported him back in the 2024 election.
That's 18 months ago. I mean, this is a very brief period to drop that much among a group that is part of, frankly, your essential coalition there.
He brings up a very good point. It's happened so fast as well. Who would be better, Kamala or Trump? I hate Kamala. She is a terrible human being. She was an awful candidate, and she's a fucking genocidal lover who would have destroyed America's standing in the world. That said, she's still better than Trump. Do you understand how fucking bad Trump is to make Kamala look good? Even Nick Fuentes, neo-Nazi, racist, pedophile supporting Nick Fuentes, said he misses the days of Joe Biden. That's how bad Trump is. You know how hard it is to get a Nazi to say, boy, I really wish the people that like the blacks were in charge. You know how fucking crazy that is? Jesus went to the corner store for some milk and never came back. Yeah, after the milk, he had to get some cigarettes. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Then a Democrat assassinated him. My brother in Christ, are you not aware of what the party stood for at that time? You fucking idiot. You shall know them by their fruits. Okay. Winning! Abraham Lincoln has been dead almost 170 years. Times have changed. Yeah, Pamela. I mean, like I said, the Republicans don't read the Bible or just read in general. Holy fuck, you're stupid. Thank you, Dave. Maybe you can come up with, an entire presentation of facts and details and information and, knowledge to counter it. Oh, you can't? Because all you are is in my chat saying stupid shit? You guys have fucking nothing. Tim Walz was right. You're just fucking weird. Look at this. What time is it? It is 5:20 here on the West Coast on a Tuesday night, on Cinco de Mayo no less, and your bitch ass is in my chat rather than, I don't know, going out to a fucking Cinco de Mayo party, rather than watching TV, rather than playing video games, rather than cooking dinner. Your guys' lives suck. You have nothing. You're weird, and this is why the country hates you. 3 Democrats tried shooting Trump. Fake news! They were all Republicans. And by the way, the Butler, Pennsylvania was also a staged shooting. That was fake. The police let him get into position, and then they allowed him to take pot shots at the crowd before he was able to be apprehended and shot. Facts equal weird. Yeah, why would we want facts? Why would we want facts, Jeb? I can't believe it. Hey, you know what you should do? Go flying on a plane with a guy who's not actually a pilot. Please. Please do. You don't want facts like, how to be able to read the gauges and have a pilot's license or anything. Go ahead, Jeb. Knock yourself out. You know what also is not really a fact? The theory of gravity. It's just a theory. Please, go up to the Empire State Building, test it. Let me know how that goes.
So what does this tell us? What does this group think of maybe the congressional elections coming up in 6 months?
Yeah, okay. So you see this 30.
Pamela, you got it. Nailed it on the head.
A member of Congress say, oh my God, I hope this doesn't affect me, because if it does, a lot of those swing district congressional members right on the Republican side will be waving adios amigos goodbye. But you know what's going on here?
So emotive.
What's going on here, by the way? This is a 6 and an 8. What we're seeing here, choice for Congress, Republican-leaning independents.
Changed to 68.
In the 2024 election, look at this. They supported Republican candidates by 83 points, but now it's 68 points. That's a fifth.
See, this is not the best of, this kind of works, but you would also have to see like the 2022 polling, because 2026 polling is a midterm. The party in power historically has less support. So you would need to see how it compares to 2022 polling. Maybe they'll do that. We'll see.
Again, in only 18 months' time. These are not numbers that Republicans win with. These are numbers Republicans lose with. And so what we're seeing right now is that collapsing support for President Trump among Republican-leaning independents absolutely finding its way down ballot, making its way down ballot. And if these numbers hold for the 2026 election, which is occurring in only a little bit about 6 months' time, depending on how you exactly count 6 months, that would be absolutely devastating for Republicans.
Harry, say I was a viewer of this show and
Yes.
I had a lot more questions about the midterms.
Ian, I don't
taking
understand
place
what
in
you're
6
saying.
months.
It may
Where
come
could
down
go get some
to,
of
I
those
don't get
questions
it.
answered?
You know, I'm glad you asked that, Johnny Berman, because it turns out that I have a slide for that. Where can you go? You can ask Johnny and I right now. Look at this. We look so fantastic over here, right? I think I look pretty chill. John looks really chill over here. You can go to CNN.
Okay, so this is just them fluffing themselves. But it gets, wait, there's more. How Trump became a historically unpopular president in charts. Now, this is a very, oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Is that even big enough? That's what she said. Can I open this in a new window? Yeah, here we go. Oh, God. Okay, this kind of works. Do CNN do these polls daily? I don't know. I don't think so. Polls typically take a couple days. Yeah, Ian, I still don't understand your question. Jeb Common, Donald Trump pardoned 1,500 terrorists that tried to overthrow the January 6th election. And by the way, a vast majority of them are pedophiles. And then he had to get the pigs, which are also a gang of pedophiles, rapists, and terrorists who are helping ICE kidnap Americans to help kickstart the 2020 riots, which the pigs started in a vast majority of them. Every single time, it's been the pigs committing violence, and the pigs are the ones being backed by Trump, and they back Trump as well, because they're both pedophiles. We keep seeing rape and murder and pedophilia just run rampant within police departments, and that's why you get what happened in 2020. But Jeb, you understand you're also a pedophile, right? So anything you say here just comes back to the fact that you rape children. That's what you do, Jeb, because that is what the Republican Party stands for. You guys have a pedophile who eats, rapes, murders, and tortures babies as your standard bearer. And you want to come up here and talk about BLM and Black Lives Matter? Sorry, Epstein's Island trumps all of your bullshit. It does, pun intended. It does, because you're a pedophile, you support a pedophile, and we're not here for your bullshit anymore. We're not having it. Until Democrats can figure out the difference between men and women, I won't be able to take anything they say seriously. Kiefer, that's hilarious coming from you, since your guys' party is the one that can't figure out what is a woman. You guys literally walk around and say, what is a woman? You know what a child is, though, because you elected a pedophile. So why is it that you don't know what a woman is, but you all know what a child is? Food for thought, buddy. Trump is only unpopular among Democrats. Cope and seed, you moron. 150 crude, 5% inflation, Mad Max. I see the one brain cells working overtime in your chat. Yes, Pamela. They're all triggered. They're just triggered. They're triggered little snowflakes. Because they can't handle this. They can't handle reality. Reality is against what they think it should be. And rather than improve to be better people, better candidates, better policies, they double down on how fucking shitty they are because that's all they know. They've never had to work a day in their lives. They've never actually had to, build coalitions in order to accomplish a massive goal. All they've ever done in their lives is piss and moan and work the refs. They've never had to win legitimately by pushing for a fucking touchdown. They just piss and moan to the ref until the ref is like, fine, fuck it, flag on the play. You can fuck off. You are a pedophile, you bone brain. Holy shit. You guys are fucking awful at this. I just said your pedophile leader rapes, murders, and eats children, and you call me a bone brain? Good job, little dude. Blah, 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 blah. Trump is winning, they say as he's at 39% approval. Cope and seed, you fucking pedophiles. So President Donald Trump's average approval rating. So this is February 25, 48% approval rating early in the second term. So this is basically, how most presidents start in the contemporary world because everything is hyper-partisan nowadays. Americans were split on Trump's performance before his ratings quickly began declining. Then he had the tariffs. That raised the cost of living for everything and everyone. And then you can see a very quick decline from when he was in office. This is what, 1, 2, so 3 months, he lost 7 points. That's a pretty big drop, and it's all because he's a dipshit who doesn't know what he's doing. So, of course, he wants to charge other countries for fees when all that actually happens is that those fees come right back to the consumers. That's how it always happens. The businesses pass those fees on to the consumers. That's how it always goes. So prices go up, and once they go up, they stay up. They never, ever go anywhere but up. So then we have the Trump signs the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which was a tax giveaway to the rich elites of the country, which is so funny that all the pedophile MAGA in my chat aren't triggered by this. All this did was give billionaires more tax breaks. It cut their taxes. It put more taxes on you. Well, not you MAGA pedophiles, because you don't actually have a job. But it put the tax burden on the working class, whom, you MAGA pedophiles always like to say you're in support of. And it was just a giant tax giveaway, letting them deduct every fucking thing possible. Just like Biden's 9% inflation, you guys are fucking cooked. You guys live online. You cannot imagine what it's like to go out in reality. Honestly, if you think Biden had 9% inflation, touch fucking grass. Tariffs are better described as an import tax. That's exactly what it is. Because we're charging these businesses to pay more to the government, and then they're going to offset that onto the consumers, us, which is exactly what happened here, and it's why his polling went down. Trump signs the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. He sends National Guard to D.C., and you can see that dropped him as well, so he's been hovering at the low 40s. Election night 2025. And then this is only goes up to 2025? Oh, that's right, because the Epstein files didn't get released until 2026. Wait a minute, why does this not cover 2026? That's very interesting. Okay, so now this is all way too big. That's what she said. In 41 of 50 states, more Americans now disapprove of Trump than approve of him. 41 out of 50. Disapprove, so anything like pink and pink to red are disapprove. So you can see, of course, the West Coast and the East Coast all hate him because Trump is a pedophile, and, that's not something that Americans should tolerate or accept. He even has a disapproval rating in Florida, the pedo central where Epstein had his home, and then, of course, where he got his sweetheart deal in 2008 because of Alex Acosta, Trump's former labor secretary-in-chief, who helped the pedophile get off on all charges. Georgia, God, Georgia, he's deeply underwater there. That's crazy. But he's pretty solid in Wyoming. That's an interesting. Idaho makes sense. West Virginia makes sense. Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Utah. Hey, what are your pronouns? Mine are fuck and off, because you sound like a dipshit. That age-old question that has stumped American presidents, which is the squirrel. So, Trump is a racist, rapist, pedophile destroying America. He is crashing our economy. He's cutting jobs. He's cutting taxes for the wealthy while increasing taxes for the working class. And here he is focused on his cognitive tests.
In my opinion, anybody running for president or vice president should take a cognitive test. And
God, he looks awful.
no president has ever taken one except me. I've taken 3 of them.
No president has ever taken a no president has ever taken a cognitive test. Yeah. I wonder why they want only you to take it. Also, Reagan, I'm sure, did at one point.
And I've aced each one. 1 in the first administration, 2 over here. And whenever they get a little sassy, like, does he still have it? Does he still have what it takes? I say, all right, I'll take another one. And they are hard. There are many people in this room I know that are smart. They're not going to ace them. There are many people standing back there, the fake news media, that I'd like to have them. The first question is very easy, and they always show the first question is, you have a lion, a bear, an alligator, and what's another good? A squirrel, okay? Which is the squirrel?
He's bragging about being able to tell which picture is an animal. This fucking guy would think he needs a Nobel Peace Prize because he zipped up his own fly. I mean, this is fucking incredible. He would tie his shoes properly, and he'd be asking for a round of fucking applause. This is just fucking pathetic. And this is what MAGA loves. They love a pedophile like this, a thin-skinned snowflake who has to wear makeup, otherwise he looks like a fucking corpse walking. And they love this shit. They love this shit. And it's why exactly MAGA has never been more unpopular. Trump has never been more unpopular. And everything that he does is shrouded over the just like with his illegal attacks on Iran. Everything is shrouded on, oh, well, is he just doing that to distract from the fact that he's a pedophile? That's exactly what's happening. He never had what it takes, and now he has even less. Correct. That's why he spends more time golfing, than in his residential office.
So they show that question, and then the first 4 or 5 questions they get a little more difficult. By the time you get to the middle, they're tough. By the time you get to the end, I don't want to be insulting, but there won't be. I'm not going to do what Gavin Newsom said. You saw him. He said everybody in here is stupid, and he's stupid. I think it was the worst political interview I've ever seen. He said he's.
I can't believe he's going to make me fucking defend Gavin fucking Newsom. So keep in mind that gas prices are higher than ever. $4.50 a gallon, I think, is the average right now. We have a cost of living crisis. We're in a recession. Jobs have been flatlining. They've actually been losing jobs. And we're at war with a country that's like 1/15th our size. And yet he's talking and bragging about his cognitive test. MAGA, this is your guy. This is your guy. You guys are the ones getting fucked. I'm fine with it. I love it when you guys get fucked. Because we're going to undo all of this shit, and then this pedophile ass is going to go to jail. That's what's going to fucking happen. There will be a fucking Nuremberg, and every single fucking MAGA pedophile that enabled and supported this is going to be lined up at Nuremberg right with them all. Every single one of them, right with the ICE agents, all of them. They're going to be lined up, they're going to be tried, and they're going to be sentenced. Considering his competence, his golf habit probably helps us. Yeah, but then the problem is when he's gone, then Stephen Nosferatu Miller is in charge, and God knows what that fucking goblin blood drinker is doing.
Each other in the presidential fitness test, but others, and then we had the Obama administration. Wonderful, wonderful person, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? We had the Obama administration, which phased out this wonderful tradition of physical fitness. Thank you, Barack, very much. Great job. And we're bringing each other.
It's just fucking weird. And this is what he's spending his time on. Again, with every single fucking problem that we have in this country, this is what he's spending time on. And it's very telling that he loves to be around kids. Very telling. The guy who's mentioned a million times in the Epstein files, who has documented instances of raping, murdering, torturing, and eating children, is now surrounding him with children. I'm telling you, there is no fucking trial by jury that is going to be strong enough, punishable enough, to have gotten rid of this pedophile and jailed him for the rest of his hopefully short fucking life. 86.47, by the way. New records for diesel in Michigan, 601. Illinois, $6.01. Wisconsin, 567. Indiana, 603. Ohio, 593. Chills all over again, folks. I just spotted Chicago ULSD wholesale prices up 73 cents a gallon. Diesel in Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Wisconsin could get close to or soon exceed. And look at all the MAGA pedophiles getting, these fucking snowflakes getting triggered in my comments. Now you're typing in chat, dude. You're typing in caps. This is what you guys are getting. What does getting in my chat accomplish? All it does is raise your cortisol levels. It lowers your T levels, which are already super fucking low anyways, because you're a bunch of fucking beta bitches who have to lick Trump's fucking taint in order to feel something. And this is all you get for it. All you get for licking Trump's taint is high fucking gas prices. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. You did it. You did it. You got royally fucked. Congratulations. Here comes the river and the flop, and look, MAGA is royally fucked. You guys are so fucking triggered. I love this. Please keep typing. This feeds my engagement, feeds my algorithm, feeds all my stats. Going to give me more views. Please keep going. Keep going. We're good here. So we're talking about Trump being hugely unpopular because, again, he's a pedophile. And he's spending his time around kids whom he probably raped off camera after this and talking about his cognitive tests while gas prices are spiking. And then ICE Nazis are out here kidnapping people off the streets. This is exactly why he's so fucking unpopular. Fuck Gavin Newsom, by the way, Richard. Fuck Gavin Newsom. Pick up the trash, piggy! See, so there it is. They just the ICE terrorists are kidnapping someone right now. I heard that Congress is asking for $1 trillion for the Epstein ballroom. Pamela, I am really glad you bring that up because I have a thing about that. Coming up, MAGA losers have no brains. Feel sorry for the poor, pathetic bastards. You're absolutely right, Zertfest. Why fuck Newsom? I'm in California. He's a horrible governor. He is the fucking pocket pussy for big tech. He has vetoed bills that would have held big tech in power. He's against a single-payer system. He's against a taxing the rich system. Yes, fuck Gavin Newsom, and I will not vote for him if he's against Trump. Zertfest, where's that? This is in New York City. Richard, he didn't take California from the 5th largest to the 4th. That was going to happen before he ever took office. It was already it's been projected since the mid 2010s that was going to happen. God, that audio. Richard, I'm not wrong, because I live in California. I've been protesting since Newsom was in office. He was the one that called the National Guard on us on Black Lives Matter and called in the National Guard to beat the shit out of us when we were peacefully protesting. And here you are calling me a typical asshole because Gavin Newsom is a racist that unleashed the National Guard on Black Lives Matter. Really think about what you're saying here, dude. Really think about it. This is Nazi shit. With the fucking masks and everything. Goddamn stormtroopers. So it's important to remember that ICE and CBP, there is, if you go to Blue Sky, it's PAC Antifa on Blue Sky. They have been documenting actual cases of the ICE and CBP officers and executives who are child rapists and wife beaters and just generally speaking rapists. Right now, I think their thread count is up to 84 different individuals that they have documented from court filings. And the NYPD are out here defending that organization, which is a collection of pedophiles, rapists, and terrorists. The police you cannot be in favor of abolishing ICE if you still want to fund the police. And that's the problem that we're having out here in LA. That's the problem we're having in California. People on Blue Sky were yapping at me about Javier Becerra because he's Chevron's pocket pussy. And he's taking their money, which is legalized fucking bribery, and they're okay with that. Liberals on Blue Sky are okay with corporations legally bribing politicians, and they said, well, at least he's holding big oil accountable. Okay, when did he sue Chevron? But when did he sue Chevron? But he did this and this and this. Okay, yeah, he didn't sue Chevron. What you are okaying is manipulating the market. He is intentionally suing other corporations for whom he is not taking donations, which is clear market manipulation, and he is helping his donors. He is not helping the American people. That's Javier Becerra. So then we start talking about single payer, which both Newsom are against. So what was that guy's name? Richard, I don't know if you're still in here, but Gavin Newsom is against single payer. So yeah, I'm against Gavin Newsom. And Javier Becerra is against single payer as well. And then they start, but how would you fucking pay for it? California is, like, to Richard's credit, he said, we are the fourth largest economy in the world. We are larger than the United Kingdom. We are larger than South Korea. We are larger than Italy. And all of them have some form of single payer or universal health care coverage. We can fucking do it. But where would you get the money? Because we would take it from this shit. LAPD has over $1 billion budget. They paid tens of millions just in Q1 of this year alone in liability payment because they're a bunch of thugs that are gung-ho thugs that are going for their guns first rather than using their fucking brains and trying to de-escalate shit. So yes, we can fucking afford it if we start taking from the goddamn police budget, because the pigs, just like here, out here in LA, they support the ICE pedophiles. That is a documented fact. ICE, international communist extremists. Man, why you gotta do that to the communists? Come on. Don't compare the communists to the fascists. Come on, man. Fuck ICE assholes, absolutely. Stormtroopers showed their face, if only. When 54 in 2025 under Newsom, he took it to 4.1 trillion. I'm looking at the proof on my other cell phone. Richard, why do you have two cell phones? Just minimize this and whatever, dude. Single payer would be cheaper. Yes, it would be cheaper. Richard, if you support Gavin Newsom, I have to ask you what you stand for. What are your policy priorities? I can tell you mine. I'm in favor of single payer, okay? I'm in favor of a living wage standard. I'm in favor of AI regulations. And I'm in favor of housing being subsidized by our government. And also these price gougers right now, what's happening with oil is price gouging. They don't have to raise it that high. They can eat the costs. These corporations are saying, oh, we need to raise the prices, and yet they're still making more money than they ever have in history. They don't need to fucking raise prices. It's price gouging. So I'm in favor of a governor who would go after these organizations for price gouging, which Javier Becerra has frequently refused to do, especially during COVID. To be fair, I can't remember if he was in charge in COVID, but they're the same. All the Democrats, all of them were. I really want to look that up. I think he was. Or no, not during COVID. Sorry, Biden. The Bidenflation when that was going on. Newsom worked on expanding with Medi-Cal. Yeah, he expanded it. It's not universal. That's the problem. Richard, you're not answering my questions. What do you stand for? I just sat here and told you a 30-second spiel on what I stand for. Why are you typing in caps now? I'm asking you a question. I'm trying to get an understanding of who you are and what you support. We may not see eye to eye on policy, so therefore we're not going to see eye to eye on candidates. But if we do see eye to eye on policy, I can tell you from my experience and my knowledge why I don't support Newsom. So Richard Arter, 1850, what do you support? What policies do you want to have? Richard, hello, Richard, talking to you, buddy. What policies do you want to see enacted? Yes, it's profit. Profit before people. Exactly, Ian. That's exactly what we've had over and over. So here we go with the ballroom shit. So this goes into what makes Trump so fucking unpopular. The ballroom went from $200 million and privately funded to $300 million to $400 million, and taxpayers cover some of it, to MAGA trying to silently jam through $1 billion, 100% of which is our tax money for the ballroom. Waste, fraud, and abuse in the Trump administration. Appropriation. In addition to amounts otherwise available, there is appropriated to the United States Secret Service for fiscal year 2026 out of any money in the Treasury not otherwise appropriated, $1 billion to remain available until September 30th, 2029 for the purposes of security adjustments and upgrades, including within the perimeter fence of the White House compound to support enhancements by the United States Secret Service relating to the East Wing Modernization Project, including above ground and below ground security features. So the cost keeps going up and up because all it is it's just a fucking money pit. It's intended to be this black hole where they're going to take a bunch of money, they're going to build a shitty ballroom, and Trump is going to pocket the rest of it. That's all that this is. Waste, fraud, and abuse. This shit should be prosecuted, and I want a president who will prosecute this. And Richard, having known Newsom to be my governor for the last 6-something years, this is not a man who will do this. Newsom is a weakling who goes on Ben Shapiro's podcast and has to agree with him. Gavin Newsom is a weakling who goes on fucking. Didn't he go on Charlie Kirk? It was either Charlie Kirk or Nick Fuentes and agrees with them. He doesn't push back against these Nazis, against these terrorists. Ben Shapiro, by the way, incited a terrorist attack. He doesn't push back on them. And you think he's going to push back on this? He's going to jail the people who are pocketing this money? I'm sorry, Richard, but you're just living in delusion land. Richard, why are you still typing in caps? I support universal health care. Okay, you support universal health care. Javier Becerra does not. Neither does Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom has said for a very long time that he supports universal health care and single payer, and yet all throughout his time in the governorship, he didn't lift a single fucking foot in order to get it passed while it was going through legislation. He did not work in fact, he worked behind the scenes to kill it. Ask the nurses union. Ask the nurses association. The nurses unions were the ones trying to get it passed within legislation, and Newsom was the one working behind the scenes to get it killed. So then, now that it's killed in legislation, he's got the excuse he can back off. He can back off and say, well, you know, we tried, but I guess we're just going to have to settle with the status quo. No, I'm sick of status quo Democrats, and that's exactly what Gavin Newsom is. So, Richard, if you want universal health care, straight up, Gavin Newsom is not your guy. He's not. That's just it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Griff, Trump's going to get kickbacks from people building that ballroom. Exactly. He's going to get kickback. He's going to get kickbacks from them, who in turn he'll turn around and give them kickbacks, and he'll give them pardons. He'll give them government contracts, just like with the pedophile Elon Musk, or with Tom Oman, who took a $50,000 bribe. He's going to waive all that away and not give him prosecutions. That's exactly what this is. And then that buys them loyalty. So then they have to be loyal to Trump, because if they're not, he turns around and cracks the whip. Several recent conversations with aides, Trump expressed frustration that the U.S. blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, while effective in crushing Iran's economy, it hadn't forced Tehran to meet its nuclear demands. Basically, the story of the whole war. People convinced Trump that a particular military action will drive rapid political change in Iran. The military action predictably fails to do so. Trump gets frustrated, rinse and repeat. Again, this is why people are so fucking sick of this. He said no goddamn foreign wars, and what does he do? He launches multiple foreign wars, because everything he stands for is fucking lies. Jeb, nope, they're correct, Zertfest. I mean, it's right fucking here. See, this pedophile Jeb Common is not going to see. He lives in delusion land. These MAGA pedophiles can't step out. They can't step out of their mother's basement to touch grass and see the fucking sunlight, because this would destroy their worldview. You know how invested they are in this being actual fake news when it's truly reality? If they were to accept this as being fact and come back to the real world instead of living in their fucking delusion land, it would be like that lady in The Boys who pops heads. That was what would happen to them. Every now and then I remember Tim Walz' their weird campaign and how close the Dems were to actually shifting the way people perceive the right in a very real way, and then they just stopped. Correct. And this is exactly why Kamala Harris was a shitty candidate and a shitty politician, because this was working. So you know what happened? Kamala's campaign told Tim to back off because they felt he was getting too much attention. It was working. It was successful. So anytime, just like I said, no one is better at fucking things up. The only people even close to fucking things up as good as Trump does are the Democrats. Newsom signed ABX 2.1, allowing the state to require oil refiners to maintain a minimum inventory of fuel aimed at preventing price spikes caused by supply shortages during refinery maintenance. Okay, Richard, how's that working out? So gas prices are not are normal in California, right? They're not the highest in the nation. That's what you're telling me, Richard. Richard, come on, brother. Think about this. You're just saying that he signed a bill to prevent exactly what's happening, and yet it didn't work. Do you see the problem here, Richard? NYPD cannot collaborate with a rogue federal agency terrorizing our neighborhoods. We need a full investigation into every contact between NYPD and ICE that night, and full accountability. Solidarity with Chidozie Wilson Okeke and the New Yorkers who showed up. Abolish ICE. This is exactly the kind of shit that makes them unpopular. People don't want this shit. We saw Republicans in Minnesota were the ones that got pissed off about this, and Republicans were the ones in the street. Agnostic voters were in the street saying they're going to vote against Trump, and they're voting in favor of people who want to abolish ICE. Okay, Richard. Yeah, good conversation, buddy. You're really thinking Really thinking with your brain there. Really, really respect to how much thought you put into your beliefs. Good job, buddy. Kevin O'Leary's massive data center was approved by a county commission in Utah last night. At 40,000 acres, it would be 2.5 times the size of Manhattan. The commission approved the proposal despite opposition from hundreds of locals. And this is also why Trump is so fucking unpopular, because his cabinet is stacked with AI people. His own Satan spawn of children are into the AI business. You're 74 and you're successful. You're so successful that you're in my chat at 5:50 in the evening. I believe you.
False. All of this is false. Then why won't they let people talk? Why won't they let us ask questions? It's false. This is not real information. And we sit here like it's okay. It's a charade. It's a charade. It's false.
Whoops. Whoops. This is, and again, all of this is backed by Trump. This is all his people. His people are making money off of this, and it not only does it pollute our land, it takes up our water, and it leaves us with absolutely fucking nothing. Even though Obama used ICE to immigrants in cages, Democrats didn't say anything. Jeb, you're a fucking idiot. And here's the other thing. I absolutely hated Obama when he did this shit. Finally, you've come across a fact. Hey, look at you, Jeb. You came across an actual fact. Good God, good job, buddy. Hey, pour one out to you for actually coming upon a fact, dude. Yes, Obama was horrible to immigrants. Kamala is horrible to immigrants. Every single Democrat has been horrible to immigrants because they think if they tack right, they're going to win this mythical fucking vote in the middle, which never fucking happens. You're right, Jeb. Obama was awful to ICE. To immigrants with ICE, and Democrats have historically done that. You and I can agree on that. But here's the thing, Jeb. I agree with you on that because that is an observable fact. That is a reality that is in the shared space, okay? That is canon of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, okay? But you, on the other hand, cannot acknowledge that Trump is wanting to spend $1 billion for a fucking ballroom. That's something that you can't do. You can't acknowledge that the polling of Trump is lower than ever before. You can't acknowledge that he's in the Epstein files 1,000,000 times more than anyone else. You can't acknowledge that. And that is why you have a shit life. That is why you have high gas prices, high food prices, high energy prices, no place to live that's affordable. You have that because rather than recognizing that how awful Obama was to immigrants and how horrible ICE is, rather than taking that reality and using that to build on the rest of the reality, and then coming to the conclusion that, oh, these are actual problems that we need to solve, and you know who's not solving them? The people who keep making them happen, which are Republicans. And in the case of ICE, Democrats as well. Run a successful delivery business. Richard, I'm done with you. You're stupid. The Seattle Times rejected a union request to not replace workers with AI, saying journalism doesn't mean journalists. Yet again, all this, people don't want this AI shit. It's hugely fucking unpopular. And the Democrats were just having a thing last week, a week before last, I think it was, saying how they need to welcome AI, and especially AI and crypto donors. That's the Democratic Party's position, which does this. Which does this. Takes up our water, cuts jobs, and Democrats are in favor of that. That cannot fucking happen. We absolutely have to stop this. We need to stop enabling Democrats in the party and stop voting for Democrats in the party that do this. And then another reason they're so fucking unpopular, because just like Jebcom and the pedophile in my comments, you guys are fucking snowflakes. You love to dish it out, but you can't fucking handle it, and it just breaks your fucking brain, which is what we saw here with, this is Scott Jennings.
That Donald Trump tells that you are disturbed by. I don't want any politician to lie ever. I wish they would all tell the truth all the time.
That was a Kamala Harris ovation. What is a lie that Donald Trump
Look, first of all, I don't answer to you, and I don't answer to you. That's number one. Number two, it is my sincere. Well, I don't answer to these two guys.
You know, I want to resolve this with you putting your finger in my face. Let me finish, sir. Let me finish. Let me finish.
See what I mean? He puts his finger in someone's face, which is not a polite fucking thing to do. And then when confronted, he has a total fucking baby bitch meltdown.
You put your finger in my face and you were aggressive and you said you don't answer. Let me ask you a question, though.
I don't.
You don't ask me a question. I thought
What a
you said
fucking
that
toddler.
We all should speak among each other, not wait for you. And if it's all right,
You gonna ask me for my number after
Hang
the
on,
show?
Scott and Michael.
Brother, don't start.
In the spirit of conversation,
Scott Jennings is, and this is CNN's choice. CNN's choice to hire this fucking schmuck. CNN is an absolute disgrace. CNN is not journalism anymore. It's fucking stenography. Holy shit, what's more pathetic, the fragility or hypocrisy of this man, Scott Jennings, in 2025? I got to get a farm in Michigan because when you own as many libs as I do, you got to get a place to put them all. Scott Jennings in 2026. They don't think any conservatives should be allowed to speak. I think a little more civil debate would be good. This is not civil fucking debate. You say this kind of again, they can it's the saying, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. And these fucking guys just put their fucking faces on the stove and then they cry about it.
They don't think any conservative should be allowed to speak on CNN or anywhere else. And my view is debates are good. Keeping your hands to yourself and getting out of my physical space is good. And I think a little more civil debate would be a good thing.
These guys are so fucking pathetic. You nailed it, Equeer. Scott Jennings got his ass handed to him by Adam Mockler. He did. And he did the exact same thing that Adam Mockler did to him, and he can't take it. That's how these guys always fucking are. So, how are the Democrats countering all this? We have so much fucking cannon fodder that the Democrats could be using to campaign on, to bring people forward. We could call them fucking snowflakes. We could call them fucking weird. We could say, let's stop AI. We could say, let's stop these data centers. We could say, let's stop this waste of a ballroom. We could say, let's abolish ICE. Let's say we could start charging all these criminal oil companies that are price gouging against us. We could start doing all that. So how are the Democrats running for office in California? Let's see. California is the leader in the Democratic Party, right? Let's see what they're saying. Oops.
They're not the bad guy. You need Chevron. I need Chevron. My people of the state of California need Chevron. Chevron wants to give me a check. That's their prerogative.
That's called fucking legalized bribery. This is now, depending on, which poll you look at, the leading candidate for governor here in California. I hate it. I hate it. Everything sucks with the California candidates. Why can we not get a single fucking good candidate? We have this guy or Tom fucking Steyer or Mark Millan, which is just the fucking, oh God, he's just so he is so in bed with fucking big tech that he has to wear a double coat so they can hide behind him because they got their dick up his ass while he's walking. And he's just saying, yeah, I want corporations to bribe me. Open season. This is no different than what Trump does. It's no different from the ballroom or, hey, I'm going to prosecute you guys unless you cut me checks. This is no fucking different. And this is what Democrats support. I got into a huge Twitter blue sky fight 2 nights ago because Democrats don't see a fucking problem with this. And if Democrats don't see a fucking problem with this, that's fucking bad. And we cannot let them dominate the conversation. I have to go to VOR. Oh, shit. Voice of Reason is starting. Right. Thank you, Pamela. Good luck. See you later. AI was recently found to be more expensive than human employees are supposed to replace. Correct, Equeer. That is absolutely correct. In about 75% of the cases. 75% is a vast majority. Chevron. That's good. And again, we have Javier Becerra backpedaling on single payer as he woos powerful doctors' lobbies. Javier Becerra is a continuation of a status quo that produced 2 Trump presidencies. He just surrendered his support of single-payer health care so he can pursue millions of dollars in political bribes from the very special interests who profit off of our currently broken system. This is absolutely correct. Kamala and Hillary would have been better than Trump. Fine. Yes, whatever. That doesn't mean that they were good. They were just better than dog shit. I mean, it's just insane because this is the status quo where we still get people who are uninsured. We still get people who are going bankrupt. We still get people who are breathing in toxic air and swimming in oil water because of companies like Chevron being allowed to pollute wherever the fuck they want. This is where we are in the Democratic Party, and we cannot let it happen. What about Tom? Is he not okay? Just don't know about him. Tom Steyer. Tom Steyer is a billionaire who is running as a working man. Tom Steyer is absolutely a wolf in sheep's clothes. I do not trust him. I will say this, Zert. Tom Steyer is certainly campaigning on the issues that would matter. He says he's going to prosecute ICE. He says he does want to tax the rich. He says he does want to regulate big tech. He does want to break up monopolies. That doesn't mean he's going to go through with it when he's in office. We're going to have the Fetterman effect. So I'm not sold on Steyer. I'm absolutely not voting for Becerra. That doesn't mean I'm voting for Steyer. Is America great again yet? It's the same in UK, France, Germany. Yeah, you guys in... God, I thought we had it bad here in America. You guys in the UK, France, and Germany, you got some... Although, what's his name? The Green Party. Polanski, right? That's his name? Zach Polanski? He's good. Right? Everything I'm seeing, I like him. So again, what are the Democrats spending time on? Bernie Frank is literally dying. He's going to be on a ventilator, and he's going to be saying, we can't have single-payer health care. We need to make sure we fund ICE. That's Barney Frank's opinion right now.
You are a progressive icon, but now you are expressing some reservations about where the progressive movement has gone. Tell us more.
Yes, I know. I've been trying to decide, by the way, personally, whether it's better to be an icon or an emoji. I haven't decided that yet. But as far as this is concerned, it's precisely because I have been on the left that I've undertaken this. I think we're in a situation where the mainstream, to my disappointment, for many years ignored inequality. And many of us fought to get inequality on the Democratic agenda. But the problem was, as we succeeded in bringing the mainstream of the left into a concern with inequality, we also enabled people who wanted to use that as a platform for a wide range of social and cultural changes, some of which the public isn't ready for. But even where I agree with them on the end, I think they make a mistake by taking the most controversial parts of the agenda and turning them into litmus tests. My example is same-sex marriage. Obviously, I've been working for gay rights, started in 1972 when I filed the bill. And we, in the movement to establish fairness for gay and lesbian and bisexual people, we picked to work on those issues which were more acceptable. We didn't get to marriage until after these other things had been resolved. And that's what I'm suggesting that we do today. The analog is male to female transsexuals playing sports designated for women. I understand there's a lot of anger about that. And I think in the interest of the transgender community, as well as others, it would be better to go at that in a more granular way and not simply announce that if you don't support it, you're a homophobe.
Jesus Christ. The same shit that they say about trans people today is exactly what they said about gay people back then. So he wants to talk about trans people in sports. Well, guess what? The fucking same people that are saying they need to protect women in women's sports are the ones that are most accused of rape. This is Trump, for example, who is a pedophile in the fucking Epstein files a million fucking times. And then you've got all the other people in the Republican crime party who just last week, another big MAGA pedophile who was part of the January 6th terrorist attack was arrested, and he was a massive Trump supporter. Trump's spiritual advisor was arrested and sentenced to only 6 months for raping a child. These are the people that want to talk about protecting women. How about you stay the fuck away from women? That'll protect them. The best way to protect women is to keep Republicans the fuck away from them and out of their space. That's the best way. And the second thing is, like, who fucking cares? Trans people exist. Let them fucking exist. This is the dumbest fucking thing ever, because study after study after study has shown that there is almost a insignificant amount of benefit that transgender athletes get. And the number of transgender athletes is extremely fucking small. There are more people complaining about trans people in one fucking congressional session than there are entire athletes in the trans athletes in the fucking Olympics. They get zero, almost no fucking benefit. The only benefit that trans people do get by becoming trans is by not wanting to kill themselves. That's the fucking benefit. That's the fucking benefit. Trans people get to live, and they're happier, and they feel better. And Barney fucking Frank wants to do to them what the right was trying to do to him back then. It's just disgusting. Every single time these liberal icons reach the end of their careers, or in this case their lives, they immediately shut the fucking door on every single person that is just grasping at the next rung on the ladder to try and catch up with him. This is just fucking despicable, and I'm so sick of Barney Frank. I'm in Michigan, so I don't hear a lot about the candidates. Well, definitely look at Abdul El Sayed, please. Do not vote for fucking Mallory McMorrow. Oh, my God. Or Alyssa Slotkin. They're fucking both Zionists. They're fucking terrible. USA is the literal laughingstock of the world. The Iran AI videos do a pretty good job of showing that. Turns out the GOP was just projecting on trans people. Correct. Because we continuously have the people who keep getting arrested for going into women's restrooms are Republicans. It's always fucking Republicans. The people who rape women are Republicans. The people who support and hire rapists are Republicans. And then the people most concerned about trans people are pedophiles like Donald Trump and Commies UK and JebCommon23332 in my chat. But hey, I'm glad these MAGA pedophiles, Commies UK and JebCommon23332 are in my chat, because the more time they spend in my chat, the less time they're out hunting outside of little kids' schools. I'm glad they're here, honestly. I'd rather keep them here and then let them roam the streets freely. Now, Catherine Rumler was Obama's DOJ counsel for the White House, if I remember right. And she got a $9,600 Hermes bag gifted to her by Jeffrey Epstein. And then she got a full half-day spa and I believe a stay at the Four Seasons in New York. And the Four Seasons Hotel are all over the fucking Epstein files, by the fucking way. All over the Epstein files. That's right, vote for the Muslim, you idiot. Jeb, I would much rather vote for a Muslim than a pedophile like you. And the rest of America would too, and that's why you're going to lose the fucking house. So kudos to you, you fucking creep. She discussed the Enron case that she was prosecuted with Epstein in 2015, the same year the CEO got a reduced sentence. What a fucking surprise. This is complete and total fucking corruption. Every single time. Catherine Rumler does not get cover just because she was a fucking Obama appointee or employee, excuse me. She does not get fucking cover. This person should never be allowed in public again for enabling Epstein, for working with Epstein. And by the way, we still don't know what happened in that massage that she got at the Four Seasons that Jeffrey Epstein paid for. Jeffrey Epstein happened to traffic women from Four Seasons hotels to his island. This is a documented fact. Look up, Google Shantae Davies, Google Four Seasons, Jeffrey Epstein. This is a documented fact. We don't know what happened in that massage. What did Catherine Rumler do in that Epstein-funded massage? This is something we should know. The Four Seasons Hotel should answer for that. The one in Georgetown. That's where she got the massage. She should be answering for this. She discussed the Enron case, and then Enron got a reduced sentence. Why is that? You hear about that Secret Service agent getting caught jerking it in a hotel stairwell after following a woman to her room? I did not hear about that. I'd have to look it up. But there was there's story after story after story like that. I mean, you're telling me this. I don't know how accurate it is, but I do know there's plenty of stories of men, cisgender men that are probably rapists and pedophiles, like JebCommon2332 and Commies UK, and they go into these fucking bathrooms and they're stalking and looking at women peeing and shit. And by the way, Trump is the one that was caught on tape wanting hookers and having hookers piss on him. So there's that. AIPAC is actively trying to minimize the threat of Nick Fuentes, a literal neo-Nazi. The idea that these fascists give literally a single fuck about the safety of American Jews is beyond laughable. And again, this is what Democrats support. For all the legacy media's obsessive warnings about far-right extremist Nick Fuentes, it has shown far less interest in confronting a dangerous left-wing counterpart, Hassan Piker. This is such utter fucking horseshit. AIPAC, by the way, played cover for Elon Musk when he gave his Nazi salute. AIPAC continuously plays cover for Nick Fuentes by trying to downplay him as less bad as Hassan Piker. Said, hi, Jason, welcome. And it's fucking insane when Nick Fuentes is the guy saying shit like this.
Islamabad. Have you been outside LA, Chicago, New York? We live in nigger hell. And that's just what, and you know, it's what it is. I got my James Fishback. I shouldn't have said nigger hell with the.
By the way, this guy does not fuck. Hey, Jeb. Hey, Commies UK. This is your guy. This is your guy, and he doesn't get laid. He never fucks. This guy gets 0 bitches. Absolutely fucking none. This is your guy. This is also the guy of AIPAC, the guy of the Democrats. AIPAC and pro-Israeli individuals continue to say that Nick Fuentes is just as bad as Hassan Piker, and anyone who lives in reality knows it's not true. It's just unbelievable. They're trying to attach Hassan to Nick Fuentes so they can cancel Hassan while expanding the big tent for Nick Fuentes, who, by the way, Nick Fuentes is the guy that wants to literally get rid of all Jews and all people of color in this country. He wants to send them out of the country. Whereas Hassan Piker wants health care for all. Centrist Democrats. Well, I can't tell the difference. On the one hand, there's health care for everybody. And on the other hand, there's people being shipped overseas. I need to take out my dentures while I think about this. I just don't see the difference. I think we need to condemn both of them equally. That's the fucking Democrats right now. I do not understand what billionaires think the final outcome of all this is. If nobody has a living wage, they cannot buy your products, pay for your services, or rent the properties being owned and hoarded at that point. Does the whole thing not just collapse? Gamer James, you're absolutely correct. That's the way I've been seeing it for a long time. I'm trying to think how to phrase it. So, you're thinking like a smart person, Gamer James. You're thinking like a reasonable person, right? A person who can think critically, which billionaires cannot. Billionaires have never worked a day in their lives. They produce absolutely nothing. They steal everything that they've ever gotten. And they're surrounded by yes men. So you and I can see the long-term picture where if they keep hoarding up the land, if they keep cutting wages, if they keep cutting jobs, eventually you're going to have a very angry population, which in America tends to be a very armed population. So things can get bad very fucking fast. And that is not what you want to see happen. You do not want to have the purge happening on fucking May 5th. May Day just becomes Purge Day. You do not want that. But the billionaires don't see that way because they're so fucking greedy. It's true. Greed just is fucking blinding them. They're totally, they've got the giant-ass fucking blind glasses on. And they're walking around life in a sleeping mask with the yes men just kneeling like in 300 and when Xerxes is coming down the steps and they got bodies just stepping down so that he can step on them and then not have to step on the ground. That's what's happening with the billionaires. They're surrounded by yes men. So every single time they're told, they're like, you know what we should do? Let's automate everything and get rid of every single human employee. They're just like, oh, yes, sir. Oh, my God. Yes. Oh, so brilliant. So brilliant. Oh, my God. So innovative. So innovative. We're going to make sure that this goes all over the news. It's going to go all over the news and people are going to praise you. Let's make sure we buy that magazine and spread that everywhere. That's the way billionaires think because no one ever tells them no. Same thing with Trump. That's why he's doing all this stupid shit because no one ever tells him no. And his brain is a fucking mashed potato. So he doesn't have the capacity to say no. He said, are you talking about Nick Fuentes? He said he was experiencing a midlife crisis and went to Europe. Good. I hope he never comes back. He isn't even 30, is he? I can't say what I want to say or I'll be banned. Money is like bubble wrap. Enough of it and you lose touch with the world. That's Equer, I'm glad you say that, because what's funny is there's a lot of studies on wealth. And the more money you get, the more sociopathic you become. You truly lose sight of all your humanity with money. That's the actual fact. History teaches you that when you help a radical regime into power, usefulness is no longer needed, which is why Islam aligns with Democrats. Islam is a religion, and I don't know if you're following anything, remotely close, because the Democrats are sure as hell not friendly to Islam. If people just stop spending in the economy, they would get the picture. They need us more than we need them. Well, that's why we need a general strike. But the people capable of leading a general strike, unions, are fucking eunuchs. And this is also what the Democrats support. The leading opposition to leader Netanyahu joked about killing American college students just last year, by the way. Former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, who headlined an event at Columbia right here before Mahmoud Khalil was detained, just joked at a Harvard event that he would give exploding pages to students protesting his visit. This is what the Democrats support. They support this genocidal pedophile regime in Israel that's decapitating children with bombs. I have worked for millionaires. Ian, I can't tell what your comment says. But this is what the Democrats support. And this is why things are going so fucking poorly. And also, this fucking guy, this is what I was talking about, the Fetterman effect. Republicans are quietly working on John Fetterman to switch parties or at least become an independent to ensure Republicans retain power after the midterms. It's a scenario that's becoming less fanatical by the day. There needs to be a way easier method to recall and punish politicians for doing this. Because this guy conned everybody, myself included. I phone banked for this bald prick. I donated money to this fucking Frankenstein monster. And now he wants to switch parties. He never stood for any of the shit that he conned us into. There needs to be serious accountability for politicians like this. Serious accountability. He should never work in politics again. He should never be allowed to be a lobbyist. I don't even think he should be allowed to be a fucking janitor. And a janitor would be a step up from the bullshit he's doing today. Millionaires want more. Yes, that's correct. And instead, the Democrats are dealing with shit like this. Michigan Democrat Frank Liberati is trying to disqualify his primary opponent, a trans woman, for not including her dead name on her affidavit to register to run for the seat. Blatant transphobia. And here's the other thing. If they had changed their name, if they were a cisgender man or woman and had changed their name, this person, Frank Liberati, wouldn't be doing it. But again, here we are again. This is what the Democrats are focusing on. Rather than, again, going after big oil for raising prices, prosecuting ICE terrorists and pedophiles, and releasing all of the Epstein files with a commitment to prosecuting anyone that committed a crime there. This is the shit they're focusing on. And again, this is the shit that you won't hear from the Democrats. The Green Party rally in Hastings, addressed by party leader Zach Polanski, who is Jewish, was disrupted by several men displaying Reform UK and St. George's Cross flags, and one of the group was filmed making repeated Nazi salutes during the disturbance. Here you go again. Where's the ADL on this? Huh? Where's AIPAC on this? They ain't saying shit. This might be the strangest. So I'm not sure what this is, but I like this guy.
You could get to that price and how it would work.
It's on our website. It's half cash, half stock. But the details are on our website.
I was a driver for them. Oh, okay, Ian.
Can you help? I've read them, but can you help our audience understand them?
Yeah. Which part exactly?
I got lost. Hold on. I wasn't listening.
Well, walk us through how you could get to that price and how it would work.
It's on our website. It's half cash, half stock. But the details are on our website.
Can you help? I've read them, but can you help our audience understand them?
Yeah. Which part exactly?
Is this guy fucking stoned?
I think we can start with the idea that the market cap of GameStop is, call it, $11 billion. You have $9 billion on your balance sheet. Arguably, if you're providing effectively all of your stock, and then the cash that gets you to 20, you have this letter from TD. That's another 20.
We're now at 40, but we're still off by, call it 16. And the 20, as far as I understand, while it's considered a highly confident letter, meaning TD saying they're highly confident that they would provide the financing, it's not locked financing.
So I'm a little confused on what the context is. I guess GameStop, which is this CEO down here, this guy, is paying 20% higher than eBay's Friday closing price. So it's a con, right? It's just money laundering, basically.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I hear you. I understand that. I'm just trying to understand where the rest of the money would come from. It's half cash, half stock. I hear you. I'm just saying that math doesn't get you to
the math isn't mathing, brother.
To the price that you're offering. So,
Brian, that's a pretty straightforward question. I don't get it.
What are you saying?
Where's the rest of the money coming from? Andrew laid it out pretty clearly.
I don't understand your question. We're offering half cash, half stock, and we have the ability to issue stock in order to get the deal done. But the full details of the offer are on our website.
So I guess the offer that he's making, he also doesn't have the cash or the stock amounts to cover the price that he's offering. So the deal is partly IOU.
But you're on our air. We thought we'd get.
So,
is he stoned? Yes. Oh my God. This is CEOs for you, man. That's the Epstein class right there. Oh, man. Wow. Like I said, rich people, CEOs, they don't do anything. They don't do anything. Look at this schmuck. This is the CEO of the company. What does he do? He doesn't do shit, man. He smokes before a fucking interview. It's become very obvious that our dependence on fossil fuels is a major security threat. You know what's funny about that, Equeer, is that if we had kept with the Green Energy Initiative or if we had done the Green New Deal earlier, we would be less dependent on that oil than we are right now. And hey, I got an electric car. I'm fucking I ain't going to pay for that $6 a gallon horse shit. Fuck that. No, thank you. I saw this shit coming a long ways away, and I invested properly. And if Trump had not done away with a lot of the green initiatives that we already had prior to that, which even then were not many, when it comes to wind farms, solar farms that were being built, all this other shit, we would be better off than where we are now. Okay, we got a MAGA pedophile again. Chaos for You 728 says Dems will never release unredacted Epstein files because most of them are on that list. If the Democrats were on that list, Trump would release them in a fucking heartbeat. But the simple fact is, Trump is in there more than anyone because he is a pedophile and a rapist. Fuck ICE? Yes, fuck ICE. Abolish ICE. Moreover, ICE must be destroyed. So you support immigrants stealing resources from natural citizens? That's sad. Chaos for You. Immigrants contribute more to this country than you ever will. They contribute more in one fucking day than you will in your whole fucking lifetime. Immigrants also commit less crime than you sure as fuck do. And also, any one immigrant does not have nearly the fucking crime charges as Donald Trump, 34-count felon, pedophile in the Epstein files does. Yes, I support immigrants. Fuck ICE. Amnesty for all. Eat my whole ass, Chaos. The average American pays about $500,000 in taxes in their lifetime, so for every $1 billion the government spends, that's the lifetime taxes from... Hold on, I'm not following. The average American pays about $500,000 in taxes in their lifetime. So for every $1 billion the government spends, that's the lifetime taxes from 2,000 people. I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. So if it's $1 billion for 2,000 people, so 4,000 people funded the ballroom. Dylan, I'm not entirely sure on your math on that. I would have to look that up. All right, so we're into the end of the politics stuff here. I like to end on a fun note. So, wait a minute, hang on. Let's, I thought this was full screen a minute ago. There we go. Okay, so this is gameplay from Hitman, and I saw this, and it's just worth sharing. This is good. Wa-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Wa-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Story gets good. These clips get insane, man. Some of the stuff you can do with these games is insane. It's not, Sassy Mo says, it's not that we can't feed the poor, it's just that we can't satisfy the rich. Absolutely correct. Dylan, no, I get that math. I'm just not sure where your stat comes from about, you know, the average American contributing $500,000 in taxes. I'd have to look that up. You could be wrong. I'm not calling you out, brother. Hey, peace, friendly fire. I'm just saying I don't know where your source is for that, so I don't know where you're getting that number. Also, this one is good. I think I've actually played this before, but yeah.
Блять, Жора, да ёб твою... Вот такие румяна купила, но мне кажется, я уже переборщила. Полотенце. Быстро! Недавно я себе еще вот такие вот очки купила. Ну-ка, положил. Эй! Ну, в общем, мы решили взять пару кофе, потому что дорога дальняя. Суета в бак. Вы постоянно говорите, что Жора и это и. Ну вы только посмотрите, как он меня обнимает. Жестче! Еще жестче! Еще! Дайте пару кубиков, и у вас получится... А ты вообще картошку иди жарь! Да, у меня огромный опыт в этой сфере, я уже работала. Извините, пожалуйста. Ну-ка, вышел отсюда, блин. Дальше, мой пол, это не про тебя. Смотрите, как это работает. Блин, Жора! Дай сам за...
Okay, so the fact that it's in Russian also just gets me. It just cracks me up. I don't know why. Okay, that's all I got here. By the way, I'm pretty fucking sure this is not an actual robot. I'm pretty sure it's just a guy in a very, very well-made suit. So there you go. I like to end on a little bit of a high note, a little bit of fun. Instagram. That's the one. That's my piece for the day, where I go around and just watch absolute mind-numbing, just turn your brain off stuff like this. Oh, I fucking love it. It's so good. Again, thank you all so much. Make sure to subscribe to Twitch here. Subscribe to my YouTube. JebCommon2332, you're a fucking pedophile.